After the recent fires in Malibu, Pacific Palisades, and Altadena that were so destructive, we decided to take a look at our own preparedness here at Casa Cari. So I prepared a quick video for you to show you what we have done in order to get ready for the inevitable fire. Okay, here's the setup. Here's our neighbor's palm trees hanging 10 to 12 feet over our fence right above our shed. We've notified him that they are in extreme fire danger, but to date he has not done anything about it. So yesterday I went over to Harbor Freight and purchased this 1/8 horsepower pump. I have two blue barrels, about 40 gallons each, set up, and we are about to test the system and see if we could defend our property with this setup. Okay, here goes the pump, which is rated for this, into the blue barrel, disappearing to the bottom where it shall stand ready. Now I've got a GFI plug over here, and when I plug it in, this thing should, I don't know how to do that, should start pumping water majorly. Okay, I'll get that open in a second. Exposed. Here's the cord right here. I have to have my hose ready, so bear with me. The hose is ready, more or less, and we're about to plug in, and this baby is going to move, we think. A lot of water, so we're plugging in. Almost, can't quite get it. And connection made. Let's see if we get water. Okay, nothing's happening, and nothing is happening. It's trying. It's got to pump that water. There we go. All right, come on, baby. Let's see what's going on here. Nothing. Okay, some kind of failure. Maybe the pump didn't prime. Could that possibly be it? Maybe I should have had water in the hose in the first place. We're about to find out. This is a big deal. If your plug comes unplugged, nothing good is going to happen. So we're going to plug it back in. And we have what I would call good news. Good news. I can water the giant tomato plant here. And we're purging the line. Things are looking good. Watering the yard. Let's see if I can get anywhere close to defending the roof of our shed here. Yeah, it looks like I could. Looks like I could put some water up on the shed if I had to. Okay, this is all good news. Could be a little more powerful, but a lot better than nothing. A lot better than nothing. Trying for the roof of the house, not adequate. Can't pump that high. Can't pump that high. You'd have to have a ladder. Those are the solar panels up there I'm trying to reach. But you'd need a ladder, which I do have and will deploy. Okay, you can hear that wind. You can see the queen palms over my head on my property because he won't trim them. This is an official document that says, "Hello, insurance company, our house burned down because of our neighbor. He shall remain unnamed." And there we go. This has been a test of the emergency pump network. It's not light either. Got a lot of drain. Get it out. Next time I will use an extension cord to prevent that kinking. Over here we have the emergency shed, which has all of our emergency supplies, assuming that they will not burn down, including our generator, which we can attach over here to the house. And we can run up to 10 circuits if our power goes out. Also here we have an emergency fire extinguisher, which we can get outside of the house. 3,500 watt dual fuel generator. You do not want to run gasoline, because if you leave any gasoline in the tank, your carburetor will clog. So we use propane. And a little bit of a quick pan there, sorry about that. Emergency cones, should we need them. And over here, extra diesel fuel for the truck. And right here, just one extra propane, but I have 3 others over in the far shed on the other side of the property. Just to mention, we have the Charmin, in case you need it. Got the extra Bounty. We've got the sun shower here, in case there was no electricity. We've got a camp stove, if we need it. Extra small propane, paper plates, all the good stuff you'd want. Got an entire box of plush Cocopellis as well. Okay, in the driveway, we have the Titan XD, which we can pull our 5th wheel to anywhere we want to go, just in case these hills above our house should ever take light. If you pan over here, you'll see Rocky Peak in the distance, which the 118 freeway goes just on the far side of this hill, and people love to throw cigarette butts out the window when they're going up the 118. Couldn't possibly start a fire, I'm sure. Okay, here we have our garage, which has an automatic garage door opener. The garage door opener up here has a battery backup, so that if the power goes out, you've got at least 2 lifts before you would have to go to the manual cord, which is right up there. If you look down here, we have the charging port for, over here, our Kia Sportage, because we're speaking in French now, or French Canadian. The Portage is a plug-in hybrid, so that we can always get away with a gas engine if power goes out and we can't use the generator to recharge, which takes about 11 hours. We can always just drive away with the gas engine. Up here in the eaves, we have some very fire-prone vents with 1/4-inch mesh on them, which I am going to replace with 1/8-inch mesh, which would have a much harder time accepting embers into our attic area, which is true for the rest of the house as well. So that's coming up next. Down here, just below the classic Texas tract birdhouse, which we just installed or reinstalled this Christmas, we have our hose, which I've pre-deployed over here, and have filled another blue barrel with water so that I could take the pump out front here and use it to water anything necessary in the front yard. The hose is already deployed over here so that I could theoretically continue to refill the blue barrel until the water runs out up on the hill. In the garage, we have 1/2 of what is a 30-day food supply. We could toss it into the back of the truck or the Kia Sportage and book out of here and have enough food to last us 30 days. Here is emergency drinking water, including the larger bottles. Need to probably get a second flat of water. Like to keep at least 2 on hand at all times, just in case there's an interruption or contamination of our drinking water. So earlier I showed you the exterior plug-in for the generator, which we had pre-wired over to our main panel. And if you look closely here, we have 10 circuits that are ready to go. I can switch over from power that would be coming from the utility, as indicated here, over to generator power pretty much at the flip of a switch. So when they replace power poles, when Edison replaces power poles in the neighborhood, we're able to switch over to emergency generator power with ease. To be honest, no one is perfect. Here are some wood I use for the RV and a potting station for the garden, both of which are made of wood. So in a true emergency, I would have to find a way to get this flammable material away from the house as soon as possible. Okay, from here you can see our solar panels on the roof, which we've had with Sunrun now for almost 11 years. I think we have 19 panels. Next week, or in the next 2 weeks, Sunrun is going to come in and install 2 power walls, one behind this barbecue and one around the corner over here. And at that point, we will be able to power the house even if all electrical from the grid went down. This is our beautiful power pole with a giant transformer on it. The birds love it. We love it. They just replaced this about 4 or 5 years ago. Up on the roof, we have this separate vent for the attic, which is built so that cinders and cannot get inside. It operates off the solar panel and cools the attic. We have 2 wind turbines, which I still question whether they make us susceptible to capturing embers inside the house. Not really sure. Our spa, which probably holds 150 to possibly 200 gallons. I can take that submersible pump and I can drop it into the bottom of this, and let's see, here's pump number 1 coming on. This is just for spa use at this point. We are in Arches National Park Southern Branch. Here's our power pole above us with the sun in the shot. Here comes our line over to the house. This is our Edison grid connection. Here's our grid connection right here. We have 2 circuits. Oops, wrong one. This guy over here. 2 circuits for the solar connecting back into the grid and into the house at this time. Over here on this side, we have the connection back to Sunrun, and at this point, don't know if you can read it or not, we are making 2.56 kilowatts right now, probably using about 1200 watts. So I'm sorry, 2.5 kilowatts, yes. We're using about half that right now, so the other half is going back into the grid. Okay, one more of our 5 sheds right here, and inside I have at least 4 5-gallon jugs of potable water. And then over here on this side, I have 2 more blue barrels hiding beneath our Halloween decorations, each one carrying about 40 gallons. Up on the roof here, I have a Harbor Freight 100-watt solar array, which was an experiment to which there is a controller here in the room and right there, which goes down, and it's time for me to replace the batteries that I had in here. That would just give us a silly little backup in case there ever were a long-term power failure and all other systems failed. One more thing, over on this side of the house, we have an attic exhaust fan up here. A little hard to see with the shade on that, but we installed a closable louvered vent so that it flaps down when it's not in use, flaps up when it is in use, but also guards against embers entering the house from this location. One more thing that I forgot to show you out here. When Edison came through and installed a new pole in our neighbor's yard, they installed a pole that has this black goo all over it, which is essentially a sacrificial item which will not burn unless it's a total conflagration. Instead, it will slump off very slowly to the bottom of the pole and hopefully put out the fire. So there you have it. That's a quick tour. So we've prepared as best we can for the inevitable fire, which will probably be showing up near you very soon.